FedEx full, we command in the block. Burgundy and gold, got the city on lock. Hustling plays, ain't no need to pretend. DC reppin' strong and we fight to the end. Command is moving, no breaks, no pause. Hands in the dirt, respecting the call. KDot and Amit, dissect the grind. District divided with a city in mind. Join the damn squad, don't miss a bit. And you gotta spread the word, so shit is shit. KDot.
Welcome, everyone, to District Divided, a DC sports podcast. More specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I am Amit. That is KDot. This episode, it's the All-22 review, the autopsy, if you will, of that game against the Dallas Cowboys, where we got doubled up 44-22 on the road. KDot has looked at the film, and he's going to break it down for us, what went well, what didn't. Probably a lot more what didn't. We got the side piece report, as we always do, where we just go around the NFL. It's centered around the four teams that we've discussed, but really we just talk about the whole NFL, including the Commanders some more. We got the comment mailbag, as we always do. Before we begin this episode, if you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment, as you always do, and KDot.
Well, last episode, we told you not to fucking share it. I guess you guys did that shit, so you don't really give a shit about what I got to say. So don't share it. Share it. Who gives a shit? I guess negativity is what wins, right?
Yep. Negativity is what wins. That's why I keep encouraging us to go live after losses in particular.
Jesus.
It's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. People want community at that time, and we are there to provide that community. Amongst many, many others. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the All-22 review featuring our very own KDot.
It's the All-22 review, a District Divided. Bitches!
Once again, the Washington Commanders lost on the road 44-22 to the Dallas Cowboys. They fall to 3-4 and in third place in the NFC East now. Cowboys move up to 3-1. We are here to talk about the Commanders' side of things. And so KDot looked at this film with not his 50, not his 60, but his 70 screens. And without further ado, KDot, the floor is yours. The referees, you wanted to begin with them.
Good bit. Yeah, so I had enough screens, not nearly enough weed. I'm not nearly even high enough to do this right now. This sucked. So negativity, we're going to have time for that, right? But we're going to start on offense because we like to start on offense, even though we're not going to spend the majority of our time here on offense today. Let's start positivity. What worked? Early on, duo, cooking, John Bates kicking out, them getting downhill. Shit worked. 5, 7, 8 yards at a time. Looking nice. We'll get to why that didn't happen later on. The explosive sometimes hit. Chris Moore, 44 yards. Look good, right? Jalen Lane across. And the good thing about the Jalen Lane play that I don't know if you really watch when the All-22 is that is a bit of a breakdown. That is some improvisation that is happening between our quarterback and our wide receiver, right? They've got to let Lane just kind of be out there and do his thing. Like that to me gave me more confidence in the sense of like what Lane did as far as thinking when he runs the comeback and then he sees JD break. So he takes off vertical. He's like, all right, I'm gonna help him out. Go vert. Like that. That's chemistry. That's what we need. We need chemistry. We need the telepathy, right? Like that's that thing. Cosme looked good at certain points in this game, like coming back after not playing. But when's the last time we saw Cosme?
Oh, it's been ages. I mean, it was just before the NFC Championship game against the Detroit Lions when he got rolled up on.
Right. Like
great to have him back.
Great job having him back. All right, that's it. We'll go to the other thing. What didn't work? Yeah, so when we were doing the whole thing with like the duo and like the running attack that was working, Dallas said, yeah, go fuck yourself. We're going to start bringing in the strong safety to just start plugging shit up. And yeah, that worked. No double teams anymore. They had the extra body on it, hat on hat. Can't really do much with that. We were getting hit 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage on every single one of those goddamn plays. Yeah, man. Even when they went light box, sometimes it just stopped. They started targeting exactly where it is we were going with the run, and there just wasn't necessarily an answer for that. another thing that didn't really make sense to me is that, like, all right, everybody kind of like I can go through all the shit that Dallas did. Like, everybody knows hearing Brian Schottenheimer and his whole analytics thing. Everybody knows that when we talked in the preview, we knew zone compared to man, what it is they like to do. And like Chicago, Dallas said, well, you know what? We're not going to do what we typically do against this team because we've seen them have success against this particular thing. Yeah, and it's the only thing that made sense. Like, they were basically telling all the receivers, like, hey, go, I dare you to go make a play. And it just didn't work out. Like, you got the Zach Ertz of it all, who's the most sure-handed safety valve that we probably have on the team as far as the JD's mind. I mean, maybe you say Terry, but I'd probably say Zach. It's still probably the biggest safety valve.
I agree.
Yeah. So, like, Terry's when he wants something done, right? But, like, safety valves. And you get 2 drops from Zach alone. Like, it's just there's an element of, like, I know everybody also knows we lead the league in drops now. But you got Zach Ertz to drop 2. You got Chris Moore at certain points. There's he runs this was the curl, and he runs at 10 yards. Every other time I've seen that play, it gets run at 5 yards. I think Chris Moore's wrong, and you can see JD's confused by it. So it's like they don't have the timing figured out. You got Robbie Chosen that just showed up. Like, he ain't running anything to make any sense over there. Like, it just. You could see without the receivers being there, that's just like, all right, we're going to play man. And like, unless you got a big gap or something going, and like, we're just going to do this. And then the JD of it all is like, there were some opportunities, at least in the short field, to do something, but I think he really wanted to get these chunk plays, and it just wasn't working out because they just couldn't get enough room or enough things jostled out. And then the pressure would finally get there since they were bringing guys. And the thing with the pressure that I still don't quite get is our answer to it. Like, I've been a person that thinks that, like, screens, slants, you get the ball out quick. I still don't see that from Cliff, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like, I know that we had to go jumbo a lot. Like, we had 3 tight ends and a lot, and you do that because they're the best players compared to the wide receivers that we have at this particular point in time. So you want to put yourself at the biggest advantage. But depending on who was out on the field at any given point in time or where they were lined up, we were telegraphing run versus pass pretty good. And they knew when to cue up their pressures. And it was just like the fact that we were able to do what we did almost is certain aspects make you more angry because of the stuff that's just left on the field. But then there's another portion of it that was just like, you didn't really have a shot. Like, yeah.
So when you say stuff left on the field, and we had discussed Jayden missing some throws, for example, leaving stuff on the field. But then you also mentioned, well, how do you respond to immediate pressure via the blitz? That's going to be a slant. That's going to be a screen. Mm-hmm. So when you say leaving stuff on the field, are you more on Cliff? Are you more on Jayden? Both? How do you divvy that up?
Philosophically, it's Cliff. Like, can you stick to something? Can we figure out like what it is we want to stick to? But then also on Jayden, it's I know you have the ability to change and play at the line of scrimmage. And like there's some times where like you can clearly see what it is they're queuing up. And I'm like, switch it to screen, switch it to slant, like do something different. Don't run the ball here. Don't run the ball here. He keeps the run. It's like, I think that's like, because the other thing that Dallas is doing is they're disguising a bunch of stuff, right? They're showing you one thing and then doing something else. They're doing that a lot. And that's up to Jayden usually at the line of scrimmage to know if he's got to bail out of something and not do this and not do that. They give him a lot of RPO like options to do things. It's just so we're not necessarily doing it the right way. You know, that's like, I'm specifically a lot talking about the RPO stuff in the sense of like, hey, you can check out of this. Like, you don't have to do this. Like, that's not the right thing. They're playing off. They're playing off ball on the outside. Like, you got something.
Right. So when I'm looking at Bill's stat line, right? 33 yards on 13 carries. So 2.5 yards per carry. And you mentioned that they bring the strong safety up, to just plug the holes and go, okay, cool. You're going to have to beat us.
We know your numbers.
Through the air on man. And if you do, fair play to you. But this is how you're going to do it. Looking at the analytics, 47% man.
Yeah.
From the Dallas Cowboys when they normally run 4%. That KDot dropped that nugget in the preview episode. So that's a pretty big uptick over there in terms of man this game versus what they normally do. We had also talked about maybe abandoning the run too early. Now, having seen that, KDot, was it still the right call to run less, or should we have still run regardless?
This was one of those ones where no, you probably just want to throw the ball at certain points. Like it's just their defense isn't that good. They just looked good because of what they did as far as where they put
what I've been
men
telling
in the field.
people.
Right? It's like that's we knew going into this game. It's just the what they were able to do was sell out and say like, hey, look, we know we might have some guys that are below average, but we also know when it comes to Jayden's numbers, man versus zone, certain things, like we know that there's a certain element of like, okay, well, we're gonna do this because what's hard for me to know at any given point in time when I'm watching the tape, like the only thing I could figure out with the Chris Moore thing is because I recognize the play so often. I recognize the play going back to last year or something that they used to do with Noah, and I'm like, the depth is wrong on that. And you can see it just gets read wrong. Like the ball's supposed to be coming out and it's not coming out at that particular point in time. So but what I don't know among all that is because there's so many new guys or guys that like, shit, how many times I had to pause, like, who is that again? What? Who's on the field? Like, I don't know what this doing. I don't know if they're doing the right thing. And like, if they're not doing the right thing and Jayden's got pressure in his face and he's not trying to make mistakes. So it's like, I don't fault him completely, but I also think that like, hey, you got some outs or a little flexibility that Cliff gives you in the offense to kind of take advantage of some stuff. Stop looking for the home run.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. Now, just a quick news update for those that maybe don't already know. Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel are supposed to, according to Dan Quinn and according to Ben Standig, supposed to be full participants in practice this week. So we're talking about the struggles with the wide receivers in this game. It looks like help is on the way, and that's an encouraging sign anyway, just for moving forward. But again, back to this game. Any other thoughts on this side of the ball? We've talked about the run. We've talked about these receivers. We've talked about Zach Ertz specifically. Jayden, any other thoughts here?
Yeah, just get the details. And I don't know, we've got to do something as far as like really getting the thing going as far as like when they start bringing pressure, when they do that. Like there are some things we got to be able to check into because we got guys that should excel at that. Like I really do think Luke McCaffrey or Jalen Lane and these guys, if they're given the ball in these short space, they have the talent to do something yak-wise that like I just see the ball get delivered to them. I don't understand. Ben Sinnott, you remember to some point, like I could telegraph what was 72% of the time at one point, like when he was on the field, we were going to run the ball.
Yep.
Like there is still something that I'm not sure why we're not introducing him more into the passing game at this particular point in time. Because I mean, I know what his scouting report looked like coming out of college. And even in the limited times we saw him last year with the ball in the hand, didn't we want more of that? So like to me, it's like I'm starting to get to a point where I get what Cliff is trying to do in some regards, but I'm like, we need to start showcasing some of these guys and seeing what's there.
Looking at the snap counts for the tight ends, to KDot's point, Zach Ertz, 45 out of a total 67, so that's 67%. John Bates is second at 29 snaps, which is 43%, and then Ben Sinnott in third with 20 total snaps, 30% of the share over there. Final thoughts before moving to the defense?
Nah. Oh, I guess the only thing would be the conversation as far as going forward, as far as like Jayden compared to Mariota. Look, hamstring injury. I think one of the things where like it doesn't look that serious, but it's a hamstring injury. So this is one of those things that like you never really know. It's one of those day-to-day sort of things. So like we're gonna have to get something figured out. Because Jayden's not going to be able to move the way that he would typically move. And we've got to get some things figured out in the offense, kind of switch some stuff up. I do think we need to get some more of the short passing game going.
He popped up so quickly and was able to jog so quickly.
He's faking so bad, dog.
After that I actually am not even sure it's strained.
I
know that sounds crazy,
I hear what you're
but
saying.
I think it was sort of the shock of it. And then he gets up, he goes to the tent. I do believe that there was shock. I don't think he was faking that.
Yeah.
Nor do I think he was faking a strain, to be clear. I think it was legitimately the shock. And I would not be as surprised as others if he is able to practice later on in the week. And maybe he does play against Kansas City. When you get a hamstring strain, I got a grade 1 very recently. A 1. And even like the moment that happens, you can't jog immediately. You just cannot. Like it. And for me, it's still only 2 weeks, but you cannot jog. The fact that he was able to jog that quickly to me was so encouraging. And maybe I'm just being hopeful right now, but I am curious to see what happens there.
I think use your track record, use your experience to formulate what it is you think on this. But I would just say the part of me that is always going to be scaled towards is to know the man's a psycho and he wants to play. And the idea that like he's down this game against Dallas, there's no chance I want to come out of this thing. So I just think he's got a little bit of psycho. And I think
he wasn't limping in the locker room after, according to reports.
I think he's got a lot of bit of psycho.
And Terry and Debo are going to be back, it looks like.
Right. So
we're playing Mahomes.
I want to play.
All of a
I'm
sudden,
not going to not play. Like you,
right.
Like, I don't know, is the moment that he's by himself, he burst into tears. Like, I have no idea how this man's wired in that way. So, like, that's my only thing is that, like, I am always, when it comes to him and what we've seen so far, because, like, look, man, don't want to have this conversation. He's been out some games now in this career, and this was a concern. And this shit starts stacking up. And like I need you to get healthy. Because if you're not healthy and you're out there trying to do the shit that you typically do and getting chased down and taking these limbs going all these different places and stuff, like I just can't take that. It's not sustainable in that way. So, like, I'm saying, regardless of him coming back and everything, I think there are things that can happen within this passing game and this attack that we need to start living with in the sense of some of this short game stuff or getting the ball out of his hands into some other playmakers so that we could generate some shit.
Yeah, I totally agree. It'll help him protect himself.
Right.
To your point, KDot, when you say take the shot, when he takes the layup, however you want to call it, get rid of the ball quickly. You're saving yourself in that situation. He pump faked to Zach Ertz on that play that he gets hurt on.
Watching the game last night, Sam Darnold, like if I'm looking at Sam Darnold and why is it that Sam Darnold's taking this leap? He is the ultimate take what it is the defense is giving you. Like he doesn't complain. Okay, take it. Here, fine.
And then it opens things up downfield because then they step up. So like that whole thing needs to take place.
Being consistent can open up and make so many things happen. And like the idea that you could do that when you have a Terry McLaurin that comes back, when you got a Debo Samuel that comes back, when you got what I consider to be two potential playmakers in Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey, give them the opportunities too to just have some space to do something with it. And we know what happens if something special happens. And I'm telling you, like that's what made Jayden, I thought, special last year was we did
I agree.
so much of the boring shit on these drives. And it was like, just do that. Just do that. We don't need to overthink it. You don't need to be a hero. The hero ball doesn't work. It doesn't work. You're not Josh Allen. You don't have his frame. You can't do that.
Not yet. Let's go ahead and look at the defense.
He's going to look like Josh Allen. That'd be the weirdest shit.
Imagine. No. Let's go ahead and talk about the defense, KDot. That again gave up not 44 points. There was a pick six. But then you look at the other stuff and it's 38 and it's not good. It's not pretty. Dak Prescott remains undefeated against us when he plays, which is just disgusting and sickening, honestly. So on this side of the ball, KDot, I'm not even going to say what went well. I can't even speak.
No, I can start with that.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, let's go. What looked good on defense?
Dorrance Armstrong lasted 5 snaps. That was cool.
You know, we're leading positivity. Okay,
you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey. Daron Payne.
Come
on, dog. Safety, tackle for loss, 3 batted balls, a quarterback hit. Sucks you're going to be on the trade block, but goddamn, were you good? You were good. You look great. You're going to be a perfect second round pick. All right. Jacob Martin. I've been having complaints about when I see you play at certain points. Damn good job in this game as far as like in the time of 7 generated pressures, like
early on too.
Yeah, he was feeling it. Like it was. I'm telling you, man, the defense kind of came alive in that safety. Like it's just like, oh, we feeling ourselves now, and they start hitting with some. They start hitting. They start actually wrapping up and doing the things they're supposed to do. They start playing sound defense. Tackles look better, right? In that frame, in that mind. Like it's every once in a while. Like I'm constantly looking at this defense, wondering. Even with the guy I'm about to say, where are my Frankie Louvu's at? Like last year when Frankie was just all – you're watching the All-22, you just see this guy just blurred in, just whoa, he might be wrong. He might be wrong as shit, but the boy was going where he wanted to go.
You know who that sounds like, just based on what I'm reading on Twitter, is Jordan McGee these days, where he might be wrong, but he's quick, he's athletic, and he's getting to places here and there.
Yeah, we're going to get to him.
Okay, cool.
There was something else that worked. more conceptually, but I'm gonna save that for a little later.
Okay.
Because it's part of a bigger conversation. Now, what went wrong? Specifically, the 74-yard seam to CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to go through a few of these plays so I can tell you exactly who's responsible for what, so we can start to unpack the defense and try to figure out, because I know I saw the look on your face, like, and I'm hearing a lot of people on Twitter. I don't think Joe Whitt's a very liked person right now. So I want to see, am I going to be the most hated man in Washington because I'm going to shoot him some bail, or... No. Is he to blame? Guess we'll kind of figure it out, right?
We'll find out.
They're in Tampa too. So you got two deep safeties. You got a middle runner that's supposed to take anybody up the seam. No one carries them up the seam. So you got Marshon Lattimore. You got Quan Martin playing their responsibilities. They have stuff that they're responsible for, but nobody carries them up the seam. So Marshon then he's playing one sort of 11. Look, you can debate this to the cows come home. There's like what you're supposed to do within the confines of the defense, and then what you can do just looking at as an athlete. And just looking at it like instinctually. Like if it's Deion Sanders out there, Champ Bailey, I don't think they need to know the rules to know what to do. But if you're like, all right, I'm in this, I go back to what it is I learned on paper or through coaching, I'm supposed to do that. Somebody missed their responsibility and made life a lot harder for Marshon Lattimore and Quan Martin, who collide trying to make up for the mistake of somebody else. And it looks like a fucking 1920s, like fucking Buster Keaton, Carl, whatever. It looks like bullshit, okay? Like a Three Stooges bit. So it's not that they're in the wrong defense. It's the execution's bad. So
doesn't sound like a Joe Whitt thing necessarily there.
Depends on, I'm just going to lay it out there, right?
On the Marshon Lattimore piece on that, I want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Is he attempting, this doesn't excuse what he did, by the way, but is he trying to make up for a missed assignment by somebody else?
Yes.
Okay.
Him and Quan are both doing that.
So I see, because no one carries CD up the seam.
Remember, there's something I keep talking about, which is who's supposed to carry the person up the seam?
Go ahead.
You remember how many times we've talked about it mostly with tight end rules, right?
No, I know.
Yeah, so it's like, who's going to do that? And are you in the wrong defense? No, but who's supposed to be responsible for what? Why aren't they doing it? Don't know. I don't know. Can't tell you. The 44 yards pass to Pickens on the 2nd and 17.
This is just before the half.
Yep.
Okay.
Here's what works. And this is we're in quarters. So quarters, you have 4 defensive backs, and you take a quarter of the field and get back. We play it really well.
It's a great throw.
It's just a perfect throw. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, sometimes, like, man, Champ Bailey got a touchdown thrown on him, right? So it's like, it's one of those things where, like, look, it's compounded by the fact that Marshon's not having a very good day at this point. But it is an immaculate throw. That is like, I'm not going to call that a 50-50 ball. That throw, and that's like an 80-20.
That's what I expect from Jayden, by the way. Is that outside just a bit over, and we got a little used to last season.
That it was a drop in the bucket. Like it was
fantastic,
impressive. So like, I'm not gonna like, it's just, could Marshon do something different potentially? Like, can he get his hands on him a little early on? Maybe stop the timing off something, just do something different. Like possibly, you still got something thrown on you. So ultimately, you're kind of responsible for it. But it was so perfect, and also. That quarter's defense, we got 2 sacks off that defense. Like that looked decent as far as the schematic thing in the game. Why we didn't do it more, we can have that discussion, but it did work. As far as there any scheme that I saw that worked, it's that, or your occasional glimpse of the cover 3. Like it's just that. Like that's what you want. It was just dope. The 33-yard run.
This may have been the worst of the lot, man. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, that's on Kinlaw. Kinlaw, I could call you out directly, man. You overshot the gap. It's your responsibility. You weren't where you're supposed to be. And that's what happens so often with this team, is that when you're looking at the run defense, and I can call out anybody as far as this shit goes. I can call like anyone who's made this mistake at some point in this season. Why is there no one in this gap? Why are there two guys in that gap? Someone screwed up. Someone screwed it up. Right? So, like, why do you ever have a situation where that's the case? It's because someone fucked it up. There's no other reason for it. Like, it's not, the defense isn't schemed to leave a gap open. Like,
is this happening with more regularity than people think between Kinlaw and Payne specifically? And the reason I ask about them specifically, KDot, is because we shower praises on these guys a whole lot too, especially early on. 2 of the first 3 games, I thought they were magnificent together.
Yeah.
Are we sometimes seeing inconsistencies there where those gaps open up because Kinlaw's in the wrong one or Payne's in the wrong one?
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 guys that are trying to be, I mean, every once in a while when the game starts getting a certain way and maybe the look is not necessarily something the reads run purely, then you see them, they get a little overzealous. They try to overshoot there. Yeah, they try to do some stuff, and then you get burnt that way. But that sort of gets taken into consideration. Like I actually don't think they've been terrible at that. I actually think from a gap discipline standpoint, it's been more on the linebackers than it's been anybody else. It's the linebackers and the safeties not being in the right place. As far as like filling or what have you, when they finally when we finally know what's happening as far as the zone run. Because a lot of times, what's happening is we have a lot of things that are happening on a lot of scrimmages, just trying to open up lanes for our linebackers to get downhill. So sometimes it's just eat space, get this guy open, and then you're supposed to have a Wagner or a Quan Martin or something meeting the running back right there in the hole. It's supposed to be schemed up that way. And there are more than one situations where maybe everybody took like the plug the way it's supposed to, but like, why is Bobby Wagner and Quan Martin on top of each other? And there's no one over there in that gap. It looks stupid.
Okay.
So yeah. And then man, it's just explosives. Like they had multiple runs of like 15, 18, 19 yards. They, another no takeaways. Safety was nice, but I mean, thank you, Tress Way. I don't even know what the fuck they were doing that call. That was stupid. Yeah, it's just those. So like, you got a little bit for everybody, but it's like, so what's happening overall as far as in the defense? Dorrance Armstrong leaves in this game. He's been the best defensive end we've had, and arguably the best defensive lineman, I think, as far from a consequential standpoint. He led the team in sacks, right? 5.5. Mm-hmm. He's gone for the year. That's on top of Dietrich Wise being out. And Javonte Jean-Baptiste, I think.
Yep, that's correct. Back injury.
What position were we constantly talking about this offseason?
We're talking about edge rusher a whole lot, KDot.
The top 3 guys are gone. So want everybody to know, you take that into consideration, right? It's not a thing where, I mean, it's not like these guys are particularly old. It's just that, like, that's bad luck. I mean, pendulum swings, as I kept telling everybody, pendulum swings as far as injuries go, right? It's the nature of football, okay? So you take that into consideration, okay? We have a defensive line that can't get there consistently. They just can't. Like, even when it comes to Dorrance Armstrong, he's basically the only one that's actually generating anything from a pass rush standpoint on the outside. Beyond that, there's just nobody that's getting there in time. They're like, we're just there. We're just close. We're just this close. And the reason we're just this close is because you have breakdowns that are happening in the coverage. So, like, if you have a situation where, like, the pressure's almost there, it looks good, or you're having a game and it looks good, like, early on, like, wow, looks like we're going to have one of those games, and somebody falls down, or someone doesn't pick up the guy going up the seam, or there's just someone uses the improper leverage or improper technique, and you got somebody just flashing open. There's so many stupid errors that you leave no room for a defensive line that are not world beaters, man. Like, there's nobody on, like, this defense. If you had maybe a TJ Watt on it, like, yeah, you probably want to get more success, right? But it's like, it's just, you don't have that. Like, the most you got is Dorrance Armstrong. Who was playing lights out, but beyond that, nobody else looks special.
Do you mind if I now take a step back and talk about the defense as a whole based on what you're saying?
Yeah.
So this is where we get into Joe Whitt from my perspective.
Yeah.
Right. Which is where if there are errors in a single game, okay, maybe you just had a bad game. People just aren't feeling it. That can occur. 2 games, honestly, same deal. Yeah. You know what? Okay, fine. A little bit of confusion, stuff like that. The moment you start getting to 3, 4, 5, and we've only played 7, that to me seems like a communication issue. And we talk about communication issues on the field. That to me sounds like one off the field, where Joe Whitt talks about how he wants to make sure that people are thinking or not thinking, while they're on the field, because they know exactly what they need to do. They know how to communicate with each other. They don't need to think so that they can play fast. It seems as though through all these games, and I love Joe Whitt, to be clear, not calling for anything here, but it seems as though watching this defense, we are seeing these errors over and over and over and over again. So now I throw it to you, KDot. What are your thoughts here?
He owns some of this. He has to. So like the seam carry. So I can see that same mistake enough times, and now it's on you. Like it's on you now. So like, and I've seen it from different people. I've been into including Bobby Wagner a few times. That's a problem. Like also I want to get Bobby's another person that we need to talk about too. But but like he's not the reason. So like there's that part of it, but there's also like there's so many things to break down as far as from a technique standpoint. There's so many things to break down as far as like guys' eyes are in the backfield. There's so many times in this offense, or at least in this game, that they're just not playing hard enough. Like they're not tackling hard enough. They're not doing things hard enough. And like I get, it's up to coaches to kind of get that out of those people, right? But I mean, what I can't square is we saw it last year. We're not seeing it right now. So like, I know it's capable. I know it's happening. But I can tell you, like, if I'm reading body language, there's a lot of guys that just don't look the same. I mean, I'll tell you right. Who named the 3 best players on our defense last year?
I would go with, let's see, the 3 best. Well, Frankie Lou's definitely one of them. I would throw Bobby in there. Mm-hmm. And then probably Mike.
Yeah.
Sanders still? Yeah, I would say those are
They're all playing like shit. What are we doing? So like, that's like, what do you want to do with that? So like, if your 3 best players, I can look at them individually and be like, you're not playing well. Who's
then
that?
What are you supposed to do? Right.
So like, who am I supposed to start? Like, who am I leveraging all that for? This is where we're at. I don't blame anybody. We were in the NFC Championship game last year. I just think it's a realistic thing. This game was everybody else. Look, I'm not gonna pat myself on the fucking back. I've been wrong about enough shit. Once again, JJ McCarthy, you want to run it back, whatever. What I said about going into this season and coming out of last season, you look at that damn schedule last year, you look at those damn quarterbacks we played last year, you look at the fact that the offense was able to sustain stuff offensively, and like time of possession was a thing that we had going, anything to help them out, right? None of that's occurring this year. So like, even when we score, we're scoring pretty quickly. Like even when we're doing, like, it's just not, we're not doing things complementary in the same way that we would typically do things. And the injuries are hurting like shit on offense.
Injuries are hurting like shit for sure. And to your point, I think what probably happened this offseason, I know it happened for me, and I know it happened for a lot of other people, because I talked about, hey, the defense could be something real nice this year, right? Yeah. I kept saying that throughout the offseason. And even picking the Commanders to win the Super Bowl was because I was like, Jayden's going to be Jayden, and this defense is going to finally support him, and we're going to be great.
Right.
Here's what I think happened. Because to your point, last season's schedule, when you look at the quarterbacks that we played against, we feasted on the bad ones, and the good ones still were quite good against us. So we improved defensively on paper, and unfortunately the game's played on grass and turf. But you play much, much better quarterbacks, which then if you look at the sample from last season, they were torching us. Now we got more people capable of torching us, right? So to your point, KDot, I am now seeing what you were seeing, right? And so I can say easily that I was wrong about this defense.
So, but here's my other point is that I think you're lockstep with this coaching staff in the sense of this. I think that they did this offseason to note and to take care of one specific thing that we were bad at last year, which was the run.
Yes.
And we have been better against the run in certain points this season. I'm going to point to why we're not better at the run. I mean, I kind of alluded to a little bit in the All-22, but we can expand on it if we want. And I think they thought everything else was just going to progress. Like,
right.
we don't need to teach these guys the fundamentals on this, that, and the other, because they did it last year. So, like, yeah, just let them keep going. And what's crazy is the dude that's doing probably the most consistently good job in the secondary is the motherfucker that wasn't here last
year.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I love it.
But we saw them do this last year. So it's like, okay, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I understand Joe Whitt. Like, to me, it's like, basically you got to dumb it down because they've proven that they can't handle it. So, like, I'm in cover 3/4 the entire game now. Like, I am just fucking.
Can we afford to do that? So that was one of the questions I had.
Like,
because we can't rush anymore.
Well,
there's no Dorrance, there's no Javonte. So it seems like we're going to play more man and blitz just to be able to generate pressure and hope that this holds up.
Well, that's even the blitzing thing is all fucked because the blitzing thing is a part Joe Whitt thing and it's also a part Bobby Wagner thing. They stopped doing. It used to be that you, like, early on the season and going back into last year, one of the things that was like a staple of the defense was that at some point in time, you're going to have 1/3 down. Bobby or Luvu's going to come. They're going to come up the middle and they're going to. It's been Bobby 95% of the time now. Like, it's telegraphed. And Bobby's not closing the same way he typically does. Bobby's not making up that ground the same way he is.
You're older.
Jordan McGee has to get more time. Period.
Agree.
Like, even if he's not in the right, trust me, we are going to get burnt. Jordan McGee being in the wrong place at the wrong time and just getting torched. But you're also going to get some plays that come out of there, plays that I don't think Bobby can make right now.
And presumably he'll get better too with more
That's
experience.
other the point, right? You got to kind of let that happen. And if there's anybody to learn from, it's Bobby maybe on the sideline doing a better job than he's doing on the field right now, if I'm being honest to God. And the thing was that Bobby, we couldn't afford to have out because of how good he was as far as the run defense early on this season. And every week it's gotten worse, period. I can look at him directly and say it's gotten worse. I don't know if that gets better. You're getting up in age, man. Like, that's one of those things we don't like to talk about, but it's what it is. It's father fucking time.
So I'm looking at the advanced stats on defense, KDot, just because we're talking about all sorts of problems on it. And the top 7 players by targets, it's over 10. Frankie Louva's the lowest with 13. Mike Sanders still the highest at 30.
Yeah.
6 out of the 7 give up over a 100 passer rating.
Yep.
The only one that doesn't is Trey Amos, and that's 92.9, which for a rookie, I'm totally fine with. Right. And it happens to be our best one. So yeah,
dude,
something's got to change, man.
That's my thing is that, like, I can blame everyone. This is like, I don't know what players only because it's not only players. It's like everyone needs to get on the same page. Because, like, I've seen Joe Whitt put together, have them plays, and, like, I'm like, I like that. I like exactly where you're at defensively for what it is the offense schemed up. Wow, did you guys execute that poorly? And then there's once again the reason you hear me defend Joe Whitt is because of the amount of time. I cannot stress to you the amount of times it's just improper technique or just dumb shit. It's just dumb shit. It's, dude, get your eyes out of the backfield. What are you doing? Stop. Not your job. Like,
so then
is
it the position coaches were thinking they're like, keep your eyes in the backfield at all times? Like, this is what you got to do. Unless the corners just meet up and are just like, you know, what'd be fun is if we all just look in the backfield the whole time.
To me, it's like, this is where I might need some, I don't know how they react to things as far as this team goes. I thought they might be like a rah team. I need some people yelling at some people, man. Like, I need somebody
accountability.
But this is where it comes down to, like, all right, so what do I do? What do I think you have? Like, I think Joe, I honest to God think that right now Joe Whitt is trying to keep them where he's at and not regret and just hoping they play better. I think that's what's happening with Joe Whitt and what's happening with the defense. He's tried different things within like, if they're really struggling with something, you see him go to quarters, he'll do cover, he'll do some. But then they'll fuck that up too. So then he'll go back to the other thing they were doing. They fucked up in every mode and situation he's put them in. Period. Now, he could, because of some of the recurring things that are happening as far as like the seam carries or who's going what in the flat or who does the chip the other way, like all those stuff, who's responsible for this, that, and the other. To me, that means simplify the defense. That means you're probably going to get beat on some things, but like at least the guys won't be in the wrong position, or at least the guys can't fuck it up that much because you're just doing what it is you're supposed to do. I don't leave any room for the improvisation or for you guys to have to communicate with each other to get the job done correctly. It's just, is that going to be the thing that carries us in the most opportune standpoints like throughout the year? And like you do that, then you're like, all right, can they run on us now? Not sure. Which brings me to the other thing. You need Tyler Owens on the field now. I need him around the line of scrimmage. I need the guys that want to hit. I need the guys that really want to hit. I need the guys that want to tackle. I need some speed out there on the defense right now because we look slow. Offensively, you don't got Terry McLaurin and Bills bottle up. You look slow anyway with a hobbled JD5, but like they're starting to look slow all around. And that's where I go back to that Frankie Louvu thing. Frankie was flying all over the field last year. You don't see that this year. You see some moments that he shows up, but he's not doing the same reckless abandon stuff. I'll take an offsides here and there, Louvu, if that means that you're just going to play like the animal that you used to play like. I'm looking for where the other guys are that do that, and I'm waiting for somebody to step up in that way. And like until that, then give me some speed and give me some motherfuckers that want to play that can generate or get some buzz going because these guys are playing too flat. They're playing too flat. We need somebody with just that. We need more speed, and we need dudes that are going to get downhill and start hitting motherfuckers because that's the missed tackles, which is improper technique, bad angles, guys getting too selfish. Some dudes that I'm not going to say it looks like a contract decision, but it looks like a contract decision. I just don't think any of your guys' contracts are necessarily in a situation where it would benefit you not to play. But the angle of like you guys are just not doing well. So, like, if I'm Joe, you got to simplify it. You got to simplify some shit and just show them that they can get right. They need to be able to get right. But then you also got Frankie. With the injuries now to Dorrance Armstrong and to Dietrich Wise, it goes back to what I thought I heard this offseason. Motherfucker, you're playing edge now, okay? It's over. Like, that's what you're doing. You know why? Because if I have to have Bobby on the field at this particular point in time, just because he's still maybe fundamentally, he's definitely not the soundest anymore, but I guess he may be still the soundest. It's just not as good as it used to be. I need McGee on the field, and I need McGee on the field tomorrow. Like, if that means both of them need to be on the field at the same time, cool. I'd like Bobby to take some plays off, especially in those, like, obvious passing down situations. Like, I'm just off of it. I don't need him blitzing anymore. We can make it up somewhere else. Even maybe for the next 2 weeks, he could simulate blitzes or something, and maybe that'll fool somebody, and maybe he can. But even if he does that, what is he going to do? Drop back in coverage? And also I need speed, guys. I need speed on the defense.
You're coming to the same conclusion that I think a lot of us are, which is just personnel. We just need to be faster out there. We talked about names to look out for. We did an episode in the offseason. Tyler Owens was mentioned because of his size, because of his speed and what he can bring to the defense. Yeah. I would like to see it. I would obviously love to see it. I would like to see Jordan McGee as well. I'd mentioned Dominique Hampton. I got the wrong linebacker, unfortunately. But Jordan McGee, I would love to see on the field. I would love to see Kane Medrano on the field. Ali Cajo, if he's available. We just need to see what we have, especially in my view, KDot, with the house money game. We're back, huh? We're back just a couple years. 9.5-point underdogs on the road. Try it out. Here. Try it out. Yeah. You never.
Welcome back, guys.
Yeah, not good to be back, but good to see you. Like, just let the young guys play a little bit. It's an AFC game coming up too. Just especially if Jayden doesn't play. I'm sorry. I would use it. I would use it.
You got hang on. It's not. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. Hold on.
One game.
No. I'm not there yet. Not at
all.
Try out. No. Here's my only point of personnel choices is not to give the young guys a shot. That's not what I want.
Give them the shot.
I think you can play better than what I'm seeing. I think it's literally, can we upgrade here? Like, that's where I'm at, is like, I seen you do that enough that, Lord, how bad can the other guy be?
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying from a mentality standpoint, I'm not throwing in the towel on this season. I'm not
throwing the towel on the season.
But I also
maybe the next game, depending on who's playing.
But I think there's a difference in the conversation with Bobby. I'm ready for some uncomfortable ass conversations. Hey, Mahalacho, shout out to you. Like, I'm ready for. I don't need Bobby Wagner to hear, hey man, like you're up in age and we got to give the young kids a shot, see what we got. I need Bobby, you fucking suck right now, and we need to play Kane. I need that kind of confrontation type shit, at least in my opinion, because I don't think none of these guys are playing like they're supposed to play, period. I saw Mikey Sanderstow last year play entirely too much fundamental football in order to be making the same mistakes that he's making at this particular point in time. And I can talk about what I want to do with Mikey. But yeah, because personnel changes, that's the big one, is what's going to happen.
I will say this is where you get into the double-edged sword of being a player's coach, where you are able to generate the energy very early on. People are able to step into leadership roles very early on because you empower them early on.
Right.
But with that trust comes a little extra leeway that otherwise isn't there. And this is where people end up getting extra chances where maybe it makes sense to give somebody else an opportunity. I'm just saying, I've seen this across sports. It's not just football.
I get what you're saying. I don't disagree with anything you're saying necessarily. I just think that there's a mentality that has to go into this season just because of the way that it don't look good right now. When you're looking at the schedule and everything that we got lined up, especially like Kansas City coming on. We saw Seattle looks like they're fucking
Yep.
In Detroit, Jesus Christ. But we're still in this.
Yes, I agree.
So I need them to me, it's like, I like the defense. I like the scheme of the defense. I don't like that we don't have guys that can execute the defense.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. So I that's what I'm seeing and I don't like. Offensively, we just got to get healthier and hopefully Cliff will stop trying to be clever and you get what you need to get done. But cornerback, it's over. It's what we saw, or the incarnation of what we thought it was going to be when he first got here. It's over. The Marshon Lattimore thing is done in that incarnation. You are splitting time now if you're getting play time. This is where we're at. I'm sorry. And look, I don't even think you were necessary. I do think you were very bad this last game, but there were some things that I just felt bad for you. That bomb I feel bad for you. I think you actually played the right defense, dog. Somebody else fucked you over, but it doesn't make up for the fact that I've seen you screw up entirely too much. And I gave you one game ball so far since you've been here. And it's not a game ball as much as I was giving you a kudos. You got the first compliment from me in one game. That's not enough for what it is that happened. Adam Peters, failure. That's an F. That's an F. You got to take it. Right now I'm at a point where I do think I'm actually at a point where I might split time between Mikey and Marshon, depending on situation.
Okay. At least Mr. Noah to come in.
No.
Jones.
Jones in a slot. Or Jones in a nickel.
Okay.
I want Jones in the inside. At least right now. Look, I've seen Noah in small spots. I did not like what I saw. It's just, I mean, it's not like he got a ton of time, but it's just I need somebody with vet presence because here's what I do. I'm leaning on some vets to not fuck it up. Okay. That's what I'm kind of at right now, is I'm kind of leaning on some guys who you've been around long enough. You kind of know what you need. I need somebody, especially if I'm going to have a situation where I got Mikey playing the way he's playing with Trey Amos on the field. Give me somebody with some time, some real time and experience to show that they did this on a high level on the field too. Because right now, Bobby used to be that he made up for a lot of that stuff. He ain't necessarily making up for now. Yeah, man, it's just there's a lot of things I like, some of the sim pressure stuff, but any Tampa inverted 2, stop it. They can't do it yet, Joe. I know it looks good. It's good on paper. They can't execute it, Joe. They can't. And you got to know that. You got to know they can't execute it. Why they can't execute it? That should come to Jesus moment. Is it you? Maybe it's you. But you got to. But they can't do what they're doing right now. They're incapable of doing it.
Any final thoughts here on the All-22 review?
If Lattimore's out there and they leave him on an island, that should be an automatic call a timeout. Should be rules for the team. Call timeout. I also get to the line of scrimmage. Marshon, this is to you. Get down to the line of scrimmage. You are playing scared. You keep playing off ball because you think it's going to make up. It won't. You're fucking it up too badly. Get your hands on them. That's your best bet. Get your goddamn hands on them. All right? If you're going to be out there playing, press these guys. And that's the thing that, like, I did do a look at. You remember I was saying last episode, it was like I did not know what the rule. I did a deep dive, and I got to talk to some people about it. That everyone basically told me the same thing. And I hate that this is the answer. That coaches don't care. I'm like, fuck you. like, what? They're like, yeah, man, usually coaches, especially NFL, they just kind of
let you do whatever.
It's like, yeah, I mean, you do what you think you're more comfortable with doing.
Well, that was going to be my initial pushback on you is like, well, what if he's being told to step back? And it just means it's a preference, it seems like, between.
This is why I prefaced it. I'm saying, Marshon, I know you think by stepping back will make up for the ground you lose when you fuck it up. Stop. You're playing scared. Get to the line of scrimmage and press these guys.
The guy we traded for was the guy that stepped up and pressed these guys.
Now he's not. He's afraid. And you can tell the instinctual football part of Marshon Lattimore is gone. He panics. The DPI, the one that I'm sorry, he panicked. Oh my God, where's his hip? Oh shit. Like he panics. You can see the mental thing. You can see him afterwards when the ball you see the look on his face. Look, man, I'm all about, no, he
looks dejected, man. Yeah.
JJ McCarthy, I'm all about intangibles, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know that because the wins, losses, everything, but even in the wins this season, this team don't look like this team from last year. It just don't. Like, the mentality's different.
The same Jayden doesn't look there. I agree.
Jayden doesn't look like Jayden from last year. He don't look like he's having the fun he was having, except for some small moments. The Terry McLaurin piece of it all, I think that he's kind of after the lockout or after the holdout, and now he's been hurt. I haven't seen him kind of be that dude because even you look in the game flow, he wasn't getting involved the same limit that he would probably do. They just don't have any dudes to do that. And like Frankie Louvu's also playing scared. And I get it. Trust me, I'm sure somebody told Frankie, if you jump offside one more time, I'm gonna shoot you. And like he's doing that. He's like, okay, all right, I guess I won't do that.
But we're losing who he is in the process.
He's here, and I get it because Louvu, like, if you can put it together, if you can be in the right spots all the time with that reckless abandon, you're an all-pro. You're an all-pro. So right now he's working on that. I need to be in the right position play. And the thing is, Louvu, you're doing you're actually putting that together kind of nice. That's not why you're here right now. And we need somebody to generate some sort of spark on the defense. But because you're playing scared, because you're so worried about being this, because you're not playing instinctually, you're fucking up your tackles. You're not doing the things you need to do. Like, just go play ball, man. The dude that jumped off sides that many times back against the Eagles wasn't thinking. He was doing. I need you to do.
Do you have a game ball to give? And if it's not Tress Way, why?
I want to give it to Tress Way, but I'm gonna give it to Daron Payne. Number one, because sense. I'm hoping a team is listening right now. You should give us a first round pick.
Be pretty nice. And that was the all-22.
Do you think he gets traded though?
No,
I hope not, man. I actually
I don't think. No, I think that there is going to be an intention to re-sign him.
Or is this the contract year bullshit?
Yep, it sure is. And this was the all-22 review featuring our very own KDot.
It's the All-22 review on District Divided. Bitches!
Crushed it as always with that all-22 review, KDot. Thank you. It was a bit cathartic for me too to be able to ask questions and get some, my stuff off of my chest as well. So I appreciate that.
PTSD.
Side piece report. New England Patriots look good. Atlanta Falcons, not so much on the road against the San Francisco 49ers, who continue to just win games no matter who's out. Slightly different from what we're doing. Las Vegas Raiders, well, not great. And the Minnesota Vikings, Carson Wentz looks like Carson Wentz, unfortunately. Zero pocket awareness, had a chance to win the game, had a chance to do something with it, but not enough. KDot, how are you feeling about your side piece teams right now?
Before I get to my side piece team, I'm talking about one of your side piece teams. I left the podcast last week saying I needed 70 Bijan Robinson yards to cash $2,000 on my parlay. You know what that bitch did? You know what I had to watch all night? Hey, let's throw it to Bijan beyond the line of scrimmage. Oh, goddamn night. I said 70 rushing yards to everyone that texted me and like to say, hey, man, you hit. Fuck you. Like I said, rush it.
14 carries, 40 yards. I do apologize.
And my dumbass didn't start Kyle Pitts on fantasy. It had Darren Waller.
This is the year. This is the year.
I'm so angry. Although Drake May does look like the best quarterback in the NFL at certain points.
He looks unreal.
All right, Vegas, you suck. You suck. You suck.
This is what I've been waiting for.
God, why? Why? I look, man. Do you know what a big deal it was for me to believe in the Raiders?
I do.
I thought this year was the year, and then what you dumbasses do? Y'all let Mahomes just kind of stick around. Now he back. He got Rashee Rice, and now your dumbasses. Geno Smith, man, like I heard, like he's lost it now. Like I think Geno's lost all confidence in his ability to do anything at this point too. How the fuck do you plan worse than those bastards from last year? How is that possible, dog? How is that possible? We thought you were what?
I've got a tremendous stat on Geno Smith. His QBR was 7.7, which was only 60 behind his yards thrown. 10 of 16 for 67 yards. Please continue.
It's like, do you know who has the craziest stats if you ever want to look it up?
I'd love to. Who?
Justin Fields. Look at Justin Fields. Justin Fields' stats are insane.
I feel for the guy.
It was like he's never come back from like
when the other team scores 13 points.
it's like
no, the game's over.
It's like crazy.
I think it's 21, but yeah.
Yeah. Carson Wentz. Some of the worst fucking throws I've ever seen in my life. And you still had it. Like I look, man, Minnesota. I was really excited to see what JJ could do. They need him back. I just want that team to play with some sense. That's good news. They're right there, man.
That's the good news. Carson played so badly that JJ will be healthy now. I think they were trying to just be like, let's see what we have with Carson. They found out. Now they can go back to JJ. No one's going to say anything. They're just going to be excited.
Carson is one of the most frustrating quarterbacks in the history of football.
Yep, we know.
He showed, like, every once in a while, he'll, like, I don't know if you saw there was, like, a reel of something going around. There was a video going around, like, the top 10 worst throws of this last week. And it's all Carson. And they all legitimately are shit. And at one point, I think number 5 is, like, 5 different throws to Justin Jefferson. They are horrible.
They're horrible. It's hard to miss that guy.
And every once in a while, he'll throw it like a dime. You're like, dude, Carson, that's my guy.
So Carson, it is hard. So last year, if you threw 2 picks against the Eagles secondary, it's just like, oh, okay, it's honestly kind of an average day because they were ball hawks. They were doing incredibly well. 2 this year, this ain't the year to throw picks to Philly. They're still figuring it out defensively. It's a shadow of what they had last season on defense. Yeah. They do get Brandon Graham back. That broke. But this is, I mean, Carson had a chance here. He really did.
In fact, they were still very much in this game. I mean, they almost won this game.
Yeah. So that, sorry, bud. That sucks. But JJ's going to be back. JJ's going to be back, which is the whole point of the Minnesota Vikings pick to begin with. So that's exciting. No hope for your Raiders. I can't sugarcoat
the Raiders thing is over. Look, I haven't been terrible about all of my predictions have not been bad overall. No. But yeah, the Raiders thing's a mess.
The Patriots thing's the best thing I got going for me this season. They look great.
I believed in the Patriots.
You did, and then you predicted 1 extra win and 1 extra round in the playoffs once we actually got to our prediction.
I think they're legit.
I know. I picked them as the side piece.
Although there is one piece that I didn't expect. Trayvon Henderson sucks.
He's horrible. What happened? I got him in like every single league.
He looked great in preseason. He
looked unreal.
And that is just terrible.
And Vrabel, I thought old school meant that if you fumble, then you're benched and the other guy comes in. Apparently, it means a pat on the back and here's 10 more carries.
Yeah, and I feel that bad. And who's the other guy they got on the roster?
I mean, Ramondre Stevenson is just going.
Is Gibson still there, right?
He's out for the season.
All right. Fuck, yeah.
And Trayvon Henderson snaps since then?
Shit. That's right.
I don't know what's going on.
No, because he's been like every time he gets the ball, it's the wrong decision and the wrong play. I think because he's not getting, it's kind of like the Jayden Daniels thing, throwing the football. You got running backs that think they're Barry Sanders.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, dumbass, just follow the big guys. They're creating a hole for you. Just go there. You don't need to overthink it. Running the football, the best running backs don't overthink. That's all you got to do. Don't overthink this. Go there. If you keep doing that, something's going to break. Then you get to show off your talent. But you got to do that first.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, your Minnesota Vikings have a very quick turnaround over here against the LA Chargers Thursday Night Football. How you feeling about that one?
Teams. I get Chargers.
Immediate pick up the Chargers. You do like the AFC West. You do like the AFC West.
I like the AFC West, but I specifically, I like those LA teams.
Who do the Raiders play? They got a bye week?
Who gives a shit? Thanks, Tom Brady, all the cheating you're doing, right?
Yeah.
All the cheating
good news. They've proven that's not happening.
Maybe this whole season is just to fuck off so that they Arch Manning!
I don't want him either right now. And then let's see. The Falcons get Miami, which is awfully nice.
Jesus Christ.
I feel good about that one. I'm 2-5 in the high school league I'm in, which is horrible. But I do have Penix and London, and I do expect big things this week against.
You still feeling good about Penix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought he'd be further along by now, but I've seen enough to make me excited the rest of the way still.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Mike Penix right now?
I think he's shown flashes. I'm like right now, it seems to me like he's going to be one of those guys that you're talking about that second contract. And there are guys that
you're not sure. Yeah.
He's giving that vibe to me right now, but like I'm like I do think I've seen stuff from him where if he plays at the upper echelon of where I've seen him play at with that team, like they could do something legit. Because I like a lot of what the Falcons are doing.
Yeah,
but I mean that's why I like them.
And then the Patriots play the Browns, and then my side piece teams play against each other the very next week.
The Browns thing is weird.
They've got an amazing defense.
I know. I don't like that's a team I don't want to play.
Yeah, I completely agree. Because
they got to say you lost to Dylan Gabriel.
Real quick on the Commanders moving forward. So it's now Tuesday, and the hope is back. Let me tell you. Looking at the NFC East, I told you we're all the way back 2 years ago.
What I wanted to do, you know what I was going to do? I was going to start the episode with I wanted to just go off the dome about the fan base for like 15 minutes. Sorry, I didn't cut you. Go ahead.
So I think 10 wins does it. I think it's the NFC East. But here's the thing. I don't think we're getting in as wild cards. So it's division or bust. The NFC West is too stacked.
So it's over.
Right? No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that this is our only path. Jayden's got to miss only one game at most. If he misses two and we lose the next two, honestly, it's probably over. At that point, it's over. We would be 3-6. You'd have to basically run the table. And they did it last year. I just don't see it happening 2 years in a row. But if he only misses one and you can beat Seattle, I think it's game on. Eagles have a very, very tough schedule. They're still figuring things out. I think the Giants are going to take some games off of people, but not enough. And Dallas has actually a surprisingly difficult schedule too. I thought it would be easier because they had a third place schedule, but no, it's actually more difficult than I thought. Involves us sweeping Philly, which is in no way a guarantee. I'm just saying it's live because of NFC East games at the very end.
All right, confession. This is going to sound so stupid. I'm not going to answer. I don't want to answer any questions when I say this. The most sad I am as far as this season. All right, what I thought about this team going into this season compared to where it is they are now. Do you know the single most negative thing as far as like that has happened that has made me change the way I feel about this team?
I don't know.
It's Dorrance Armstrong getting hurt. So
I agree with that, by the way. It's a huge. I texted you immediately, and I was
that
like,
to me is over. The red flag. That's the red flag. So like, but I will say, outside of Dorrance Armstrong, I was completely content with where the team is. I actually think they were doing more than I thought they would. Look, I had us a 9-8 to finish the season. And the reason I had us in 9-8 being the most optimistic I could possibly be going into the season about this team. I just don't. I used to do this other podcast, and one of the co-hosts I had, Keem, he used to always stop telling me about this goddamn pendulum. It used to piss me off. But then when you look at it, it was just right. It was like sometimes the gods work in your favor. And if they do, and you get one of those seasons where it really works in your favor, just know the payback's a motherfucker.
The pendulum, you're saying. Yeah.
And it comes back. So it's like the idea that you had all these concerns about certain guys on the team, and then also looking at how old we were and thinking that this year was going to be better just didn't make sense to me. But like on top of that, I think the thing that people were not giving enough credit for is the schedule so much harder than last year.
Very hard.
It's so much harder than last year. And there are other things that like, I'm sorry, Dallas with George Pickens, scarier. Less scary without the Michael Parsons piece, but scary on offense, right?
Yep.
And then whatever New York's doing, I don't think anybody, like I had good feelings about some of the aspects of New York stuff going into the season, but
Fun team.
The other thing that I don't think people are giving us consideration is the injuries we've sustained. You have to look at the injuries we sustained as far as where this team is. What do you expect us to do when the top 3 receivers aren't there? Like, what's the expectation?
Yeah, no, it's fair. I mean, well, we both said win. Obviously, I mean, we didn't know Debo was going to be out.
Oh no, Debo, come on. Me and you both thought as soon as we
had
Debo
a
went
feeling.
On, it was like it was fucking over. It's
oh
over
well,
now.
yes. Once he was ruled out, we were like, we are taking an L. For sure.
It's fucking over.
Yeah, we knew that.
It's just, dude. It's just you look at, and then the other thing. Remember, who did I think the second most important person on this offense was going to be outside of Jayden?
Outside of Jayden, no.
My first was Debo Samuel. Who was my second?
Not
Austin motherfucking Eckler. How long he play?
That's right.
How long he play?
Not long enough.
So, like, you're talking about the 2 dudes that I thought were the absolute most integral pieces to the team, right? One's gone off the chessboard. The other one has have to do the shit that I didn't want him to do, even though he's been good at him. Not denying that. Although it kind of regressed. But he's doing shit that I didn't want him to do because Terry's out now. So like it's just I'm looking at this team and I'm like, dude, hey man, this is one of those ones. It's just one of those ones where you kind of like, I don't want to see anybody get hurt past the point of this year, but I still looked at this year as like building blocks. It pains me that the mistakes that they're making on defense as far as the mental errors, that's concerning to me that you got veterans fucking up in that level. Like what's happening there? Like that's a cause for concern long term, right? But overall, if I'm looking just at this team and talent and just what happens when it comes to football, I don't think they're far off where they're supposed to be.
It's totally fair. Hard for me to argue with that right now. I think I had them at 11-6. I don't think it was 10-7, but yeah, I mean, you're looking much more accurate than I am. Any final thoughts here before we go to the common mailbag?
Everybody calm down. The NFC, y'all got to really put into perspective what your expectation was last year and what you got. And I also want you to remind yourself of that when you start talking about the coaching staff and the front office that got you there.
Excellently said. Excellently said. And with that, we go to the comment mailbag featuring an intro from our very own Nikki.
Comment mailbag time, motherfuckers. District divided, ain't got time for no suckers. Spread the word, get in line. OGs and new G's, it's your time. And spread the gospel, cause this shit is divine. Yeah.
All right, thank you as always for that intro, Nikki, beginning with Spencer Brudick, former
I forgot all about the comment mailbag. Otherwise, I would have shut up a long time ago.
Of the pod. Shout out Spencer Brudick. What a pod. That's all it says. That's all it says. Greatly appreciated. Good to hear from you, bud. Glad you're doing well. We miss you. Get out your reaction.
If I ever hear like later on in life that somebody ended up being a serial killer.
Really?
It's kind of like when the Justin Tucker news hit, everyone was like, yeah.
Former co-host Spencer Brudick. I'm going to put the full name out now, just in case. Here's B. Wheeler. Shout out with 2 thumbs up here. Great sports podcast. Got some nice, simple ones this time. Greatly appreciate the love there, B. Wheeler. Get out your reaction.
That's awesome. Love to hear it. Short, simple, and a compliment. Lead with positivity.
Lead with positivity. Martin Collins, shout out, who's now becoming a regular commenter. Greatly appreciate this.
Right.
God bless Jayden Daniels. Praying for a speedy recovery. Take care. I may still have a little bit of a hot take there where I think he might actually be okay and able to play against Kansas City. It easily could have been adrenaline, just to be clear. And he's, a world-class athlete. I'm at 34 from DC, so it's different. But I was shocked at how quickly he was able to just jog smoothly. The reports after saying, nope, no limp whatsoever. I feel like there would at least be a little bit of a limp. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm obviously praying for a speedy recovery. Go ahead, KDot.
I think there is more room for optimism than pessimism on this particular point. But I will also say there are certain injuries that are they make liars of everyone. And these hamstring things are weird. They're just weird. And they last longer for some people than other people. I just think it always is just a weird one. So I just think keep your eye on it, and I just don't want to see him do anything to exacerbate anything.
Go to Doris Dobson. Shout out. Washington NGA is still a NGA. KDot, your reaction?
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know. Jim Morris. I think so.
Huh. What?
That's what it says.
What does it mean? All right.
I don't know. We go to Jim Morris. Pulled the trigger too early on Bill. Now, upon the All-22 review, sounds like they were daring us to throw the ball, and we really had no choice but to throw the ball. I mean, your reaction though.
I've also said that part of my I don't like what we're doing as far as the RPO game, and I don't like what we're doing as far as some of the run scheme that I saw in this particular one. We were telegraphing things a little bit too much. Remember, I keep talking about going into this season, what I thought would make the offense special is when you have no idea where the fuck the ball is going because you got all these Swiss Army knife guys. And I'm not getting that usage out of these guys right now. And it's a problem. So, yeah, they could have kept using Bill. And maybe because of Bill's talent, he does break one that he's not supposed to, right? But I tell you, the numbers aren't going to look much better.
Here's MX Guy 9182 with 5 thumbs up on this one. Ugh, I don't know if I'm watching the Kansas City game. That shit's going to be disrespectful. Once again, 9.5 point road underdogs already. KDot, your reaction to the comment?
I think I saw that this was one of the worst losses we had in a decade almost, as far as some of the stat stuff and some other things. And I'm sure we remember more painful losses. This loss wasn't that painful to me, honestly, but it was more angry in the moment because of how we pissed it away.
Well, I'm glad you said that, KDot, because I was going to get to this one later, but we're going to go to Tony.
Tony?
Shout out, Tony. Oh, gee. This is the most impactful and hurtful loss I've experienced in a long time. This year was the first time I felt like we had a shot at back-to-back double digits in the wins column, back-to-back playoff seasons, and a chance to win the division. Today, I lost all of that. KDot, your reaction?
I live in Baltimore. And my most current ex-girlfriend, whatever, the girl I broke up with, she's a Ravens fan.
Your ex.
When I hear Ravens fans here in this city complain about the team and they the distraught, the despair that they have, and I gotta hear them. I think one of the reasons we broke up is because I had no sympathy. Because I look at her and I look at these people and I say, hey, fuckers, how about you shut the fuck up? Do you understand what being a loser is? Do you understand what it means to not know who the fuck your quarterback's going to be? When you start listing quarterback, you can go through an entire roster of guys that you could create your own football team, but just quarterbacks of the last decade, right? So the idea that you're bitching or complaining or moaning, it's fuckers, you got 1 year of injury bad luck and some defense yet after you lost the defense coordinator. Shut the fuck up and put it in perspective. Not saying anything, our commenters, but I'm just going to play the last year broke a lot of you in the opposite direction. Yeah, I know. Y'all gotta look, man. Y'all gotta. I know it's social media age. Social media, we got very short memory spans as far as attention span and memory. Shit, Netflix even makes TV shows with the expectation it's going to be on in the background. We're fucking Looney Tunes, guys. Chill the fuck out. You got an NFC championship game. And what I was always afraid of is that what I thought is our fan base, we'd lived beyond the PTSD and the abuse that we went through for Dan Snyder. We were going to start to heal. What I'm realizing is those wounds are just as big as ever. One season can't do it, no matter how glorious it was.
No matter how glorious it was. KDot, I clearly need to put a light on, so I'm going to go do that. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to read a comment to you. You react, and then I'm going to come right back.
All right.
Here it is. We go to Turf Wars. Shout out Turf Wars. Feels like 2013 all over again. KDot, your reaction. Take a little bit of time with this one.
I'm kind of reminded about so when people give out the years for these seasons, sometimes I blank on what was happening. And I also remember 2013 as far as a year. Your boy went through a pill problem. So looking through here on this one. Oh yeah, okay. I remember this one. Oh yeah, right. What am I talking about? 2012 RD3, the year after RD3. I don't like that. I don't think that no, I don't know why. That's a very different situation, a very different team. I get the whole RG3 thing, but I'm kind of with I don't like any of the we got to stop. No, stop. Don't compare that.
That's
don't do that.
The answers. Don't do that. Don't do that. It does not feel like 2013 all over again. I know it feels like the sky is falling, and this is to Tony as well. It's one loss. We were missing all our receivers, but here's the other thing. This is the first time, KDot, we've been under 500 since entering week 2 of last season.
Yo,
isn't that crazy?
Really gotta figure this shit out, man.
That's what I'm saying. 3 and 4. Today I lost all of that. Tony, hold on now. Hold on. There's a lot of season to go.
You gotta chill out, man. I was just saying, even if it's a 5-win season, why y'all complaining? Another draft pick with this quarterback? Fuck off. I'm feeling great.
Also, if you were,
it's not just now.
I'm not going to lie. If I were offered the NFC Championship game and then a coin flip to go to the Super Bowl, basically, but I was guaranteed a 5-win season the next season, considering everything I've experienced, I'm taking that.
You take it.
I'm taking it
easily.
And here's good news. I didn't take it, so we could still have a good season. All right? Like, that wasn't an offer that I'm just now breaking news. That's what I said I did. We can still have a good season. Let's see if the squad can get healthy, if some of the younger guys can produce. There's a long way to go. We're 3 and 4. We're not halfway done yet.
And look, the things that I'm concerned about long-term aspects, at least the things that made me think that, like, all right, well, that's not going to get better anytime soon, are things that could easily get better if just motherfuckers just start doing differently. Jayden, looking at you. Cliff, looking at you. Joe Whitt, simplify this shit. And the defense, play like you got some goddamn sense.
Jamal Bibishar Bonwi. If Lattimore had hit CD with that speed of a comet, he might have fumbled. But he made a business decision to avoid the collision. KDot, your reaction to that one? Because if I recall, it was Marshon, according to the All-22, it was Marshon making up for somebody else, right? Getting into that position, probably too late. Maybe the moment got to him. It's still inexcusable. Both things can be true. And then he ends up hitting Quan Martin on that play. Go ahead.
Yes, that's how I read that too. When you say business decision, is because of the fine? Are you talking about the fine? Like, he doesn't want to get the fine? Like, if he hits him too hard? Like,
I think people use that interchangeably. Yeah, he's going to hurt himself, or yeah, maybe it's a fine, or he just doesn't want the contact, I think is sometimes what they say. Oh, business decision. He just didn't want to get hit.
Yeah, all right, look, man, I have a lot of things about Marshon Lattimore. Here's what I will never, he's a willing tackler. And he's a dude that even when there's a running back or someone on the edge, I mean, he definitely got blown up by Javonte in this game, but it's not what he typically looks like. As far as our defenders, as far as our defensive backs go, on the outside, he's one of our more sure things as far as from a tackling standpoint. I don't think that he's judging it that way. I think there's enough things on paper and on tape, guys, for us to get on these dudes without making it more like character issues.
Tony goes.
I want to.
Tony goes. What was the end goal when Lattimore missed on that CeeDee Lamb touchdown? Lattimore missed the ball, the tackle, and took out Quan Martin. We just discussed it, so we'll go ahead and move to another one. Yeah. But just to show that multiple people had that sentiment.
Right, and if you read that, if you watch the tape on that and you think I got it wrong and you got another explanation for it, please let me know.
Vindo. Shout out Vindo OG. If we're being honest, 3-7 going into Madrid against Miami. KDot called it on Lattimore. Can't wait for the hard knocks. That's going to be very interesting. P.S. We all felt 2023 Thanksgiving minus the turducken. That's true. The Daron Bland pick 6, I was like, oh, it's Thanksgiving all over again. Like, that's exactly what that was, where he set the record for pick 6s in a season. For me, it was.
See, that's my thing. Is like I remember those feelings too viscerally. Like it's I get taken right. I remember exactly where I was coming back down towards DC, watching the game on my phone because my girlfriend at the time forced me to come down to spend time with her family. So I'm at a gas station on River Road watching this fucking game when Daron Bland gets the interception, and I'm like, so like this is why I keep telling y'all as far as like this season and remembering last season, y'all have to, I don't know what y'all need to do to like lock in these memories to just be able to go back to and realize it ain't like that.
I think what you are attempting to say in so many words is last year was last year. This is a new team. This is a new season.
Old team.
Good point. Well, it's new and it's old.
And it's hurt. Badly hurt.
Z-Man 82. Injuries really hurt this team, honestly. But honestly, I think they need one more year to really build the defense. Probably going to have to take a step back before they take a step forward again. Last season had a little more luck than we realized. McLaurin has literally done exactly what we said he was going to do. Fall off. Unless he has the best second half ever this year, he needs to get traded. KDot, your reaction.
All right, couple things. I will say this. As far as I'll start with the Terry piece because I actually think this is kind of an exciting thing. I'll tell you this. If Jayden keeps playing like he's been playing, Terry is everything he needs coming back. I don't want Jayden to play like he's playing, but if Terry comes back and he starts taking these shots to Terry, they're going to complete some of these, and he's gonna connect. And I think that's what Jayden's waiting for. I'd like to see him kind of change it up a little bit. Once again, take what the defense give you. But I do think Terry coming back specifically could have a monster season at the tail end of this because I think Jayden's going to force the ball his way. I really do think that's going to be a thing. Yeah, that got me excited. I forgot about the rest.
All right, here's Vindo. Whitt Jr. needs to make a change to the outside. Yes. Players get coaches fired, and right now our secondary isn't helping Joe Whitt Jr. It was an embarrassing game. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that.
Yeah, they gotta look. They're going to look at everything, but I do think what I said as far as them going to be simplifying the defense and stuff, I think that has to come. I just think that will also be very, very deadly with who it is we're about to face.
Earl Bruce, shout out. Why are they playing so badly? Injuries, sure, but everybody has injuries. San Francisco has injuries,
That's not true.
And they're still winning. The players aren't executing, especially on the defense. Cliff Kingsbury has to commit to the run. Thank the fates for the special teams. Sheesh, what a revolt in development. It might not be their year, but they don't have to play this bad. KDot, your reaction.
There are some things on defense that I will absolutely look at when it comes from an effort standpoint, and I think it comes with like this is a team that plays either with swag or without it. And I think if you're being honest about last year, that happened too. There were tons of games where we thought they came out looking a little flat, and they finally got something ginned up, and it was usually because something happened on the offense, and Terry McLaurin was coming off the field acting like a goddamn madman. Like that, I think, is what happened. They're just not playing with the same level of energy.
Yeah.
That, to me, is something they got. Play like a commander is not happening right now. And that's something that they have to square away from the top going all the way down.
Still not fully sure what our identity is either. There were a couple fourth downs where I was like, hey, we sort of know the situation here. Let's go for it. Didn't go for it.
They're playing scared.
Finding itself. I agree. I do think that they're playing scared. And it's sad to see.
Well, they don't think the thing is the offense isn't a guarantee anymore, and the aspect on the defense is they're struggling. Why put them in a less opportunity?
I seriously think they need to use this Kansas City game to just get back to fundamentals. Like, you can lose this game. You were supposed to lose this game. 9.5-point road underdogs. I want to make my point clear earlier because I know I was sort of saying it in a more playful manner of just use it as a total experiment to play the younger guys and stuff like that. Obviously, don't do that. Try and win the game. But please, as part of preparation this week, find little pockets where it's like, okay, I know this guy's good at this one thing. Can I put him in that situation if that situation arises and just see? right? Like normally I would have Bobby in there. What if I don't for a play? What does it look like? Like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying bench everybody and play all the young guys, throw in the towel. No. But what I am saying is surely over the course of training camp, with all the personnel that we have and all the injuries we've succumbed to, right, that you have an excuse, a reason, whatever it may be, to be able to go, we wanted to try something different. And I guarantee you the fan base is going to be like, it's totally fine. We appreciate that you're trying here. That's what I'm trying to say.
I understand it. I just don't. Yeah. Like,
that's fine. We can
disagree.
But
But I understand it, and it does make me feel good. But I just I think it's going to be some, like, I would love for them to just do some new shit in this one, just try some new shit. But I do think that it can look worse.
Who's guarding Travis Kelce this week? Well, we got a preview episode. We'll go ahead and figure that one out. Jamal Bibichab to round out the comment mailbag.
Jeremy Reeves? That's not great.
Yeah. We played a good team. They burned us, but we can still rise from the ashes. Might be one of those years when at least one team will make the postseason with a 9-8 record. Hopefully, this will force our coaches to make some adjustments to how they approach the remaining games. That last line in particular, I do appreciate. DQ sounded very pissed. Nikki Javala even tweeted that he was as livid as she had ever seen him. KDot, your reaction?
Good. But one thing I am going to push back on, and I will push back anytime anyway, this was not a good team. It was a good offense. Their defense is shit. Agree. It still is shit, and we played like shit against their shit.
And this was the show. This was District Divided, a DC sports podcast, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And if you enjoyed it, or even if you didn't, come on, man, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and KDot.
You should really share this one. I mean, I did not enjoy going through this All-22. And look, if you disagree with me, because I'm sure you got feelings about Joe Whitt, drop them in the comments. If you look through the All-22 and you disagree with me, drop that shit in the comments. I'm ready to fight.
That was a tough loss.
I'm ready to play like a commander.
Let's get back to that. Play like a commander. We greatly appreciate you guys. We'll see you Friday, 2 p.m. for the preview episode against the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. So until then, take it easy.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.